Hello Smash Com Tourney of Tourney fans and welcome to Beta League numero 8 of Series 2. So this is the most important part to rack up those points, especially for our Ultimate Dream Team contenders and also for the fighters individually. There's a few things I'm obviously going to cover, but I want to give you guys something to be excited for when you watch this tourney, because obviously there's a lot going on and people will be relegated as of today, maybe, he says. But we'll see. Anyway, I thought I would show you guys, firstly, the people who are in trouble. So, you've got your Diddy Kongs, your Roy the Boys, Young Link, Duck Hunt, Greninja, Peach, Wolf and Jigglypuff. All those people have found themselves in D2, which means if they end up in D2, they will only have one opportunity to fight their way back into this league. Now, to be safe, they need to be, and that's -4, so they need to be -4, -3, which means, let's say -3 to be safe. -8 is the lowest. Roy the Boy is in trouble, likewise to Diddy Kong. Obviously they can make themselves get into D1, but that will soften the blow, as it were. But people like Young Link, upwards, winning a tourney, just like Wolf did last time, could really save their bacon. So let's see what happens there. Other ones to look out for, Falco, Corrin and Fox. And the people who are just on the cusp are Dark Samus, Ken and Wario. Everyone else I'm pretty sure is safe. And maybe Rosalina. But we'll see how they get on. Cloud is definitely safe. Yes! And as for the top tier, we have King K. Rool, who at the moment is an all-star. But obviously, if he loses, he will risk that massively, as there's a few people already on 7 in total. So one win for King K. Rool should lock him safely into all-star tier. Again, there are some things that can change that, like the Crystal League, but we're going to get to that. So obviously Pyramipha there on 6 as well. A few wins for them could see them into all-star, so plenty to happen in this tourney. I'll quickly go to the Crystal League, because obviously there is the potential of someone obviously winning a Crystal League, and that never stops. So even when we go through to phase 4, which is the Grand Championship, Crystal Leagues are still in play. So no one is officially in their rank today. So we'll just have to see what happens. I'll try and cover it at the end of who potentially could find themselves in a very good position relating to the Crystal League. As for team rank, the Red Robots are currently top by quite a bit after an amazing Alpha tournament number 8. They did come second in Series 1, so to win this series would be incredible. As the Vipers go down to second, the Fuel's in third again, the Dude's in fourth again, the Tech in fifth again, and then there's a little bit of a change at the bottom. The Shroom Dogs are no longer last, and they are 6th. The Energy Source are no longer 6th, they are 7th. And the Gorilla Limon are no longer 7th, they are 8th. And they are looking like they will probably come last. But again, we'll see what happens. There is a pretty big Crystal League match, but we'll go into that when we reach the tourney. And then finally, actually not finally, no, I could talk forever. There is the Spartan League, which is obviously he says, obviously one of the most important parts of this tournament itself. So King K. Rool has rocked it this whole time, but as we can see there, Byleth is now an 11 in total. So King K. Rool will need at least 2, maybe 3 wins. Yeah, 2 wins to draw, 3 wins to become the Spartan of Series 2, which means that King K. Rool was the best fighter of Series 2. But currently, Byleth stands in that position. We do have Pyramipha there as well, who could creep up the table if they win. As for the Warrior Accolade, which is the most improved fighter, as you can see there, most improved, big title. A lot of those top fighters, as I've explained many times, are all promoted fighters, so it means that they weren't in Series 1, so they were always going to improve massively, so they are void, which means that King K. Rool is the winner there, with, I think it's Pac-Man below him, so don't think anyone else can win that. I think King K. Rool has got that in the bag and is the most improved fighter. And then, obviously, finally, like I said, the Ultimate Dream Team. I'm not going to zoom in on everyone and go for it, because we do that all through the tournament anyway, but just to show how close it is at the top, we have When Life Gives You Lemons on 75 and the Karaoke Kings on 71, so there's a 4-point gap that can easily change with what happens here. So again, nothing is set in stone until the tournament is over. As in, the series is over, not the tournament. Because there is still a few things in play. So again, we'll cover that at the end. But for now, enjoy the tourney. Exciting times, right? So let's do it. We are going into Beta League number 8. Thank you all for sticking around for Series 2. It's been a blast. Obviously, there is 2 more tourneys after this that are smaller, just to decipher the Grand Champion. But this is the last hour-longish video that there'll be for this series. It'll be a bit shorter now. Just going to move the chair in. I'm just going to get me notes. Hey, John, I'll play the game first. So, we have Toon Link in 33rd, who's had quite a good tournament from the Gorilla Limon, versus Mr. Game & Watch from the Gumtech, who is ranked 51st, so is in trouble and needs to do better. I don't know if that's muted. It's no longer muted. I don't know if that affected you guys. But yeah, so we have Toon Link and Mr. Game & Watch. I've completely forgotten everything I was going to say there. I'll tell you one thing I will say, is that Mr. Game & Watch has beaten Toon Link before, but I do feel like Toon Link has been fighting better. Now, I've got a few new facts here. Facts that they aren't actually new, they're well old, but I have information. Firstly, I have who was drafted. And obviously I can try and remember that, but it's quite hard to keep up with so many statistics. So, Toon Link was actually drafted in 7th for the Gorilla Limon, so he was drafted in the Gamma League. Whereas Mr. Game & Watch was drafted 8th, so he was drafted in the Delta League to go to the Gumtech. So obviously there's a lot of draft fighters here, because not over half, because it's very even numbers, but half of the fighters here are obviously were drafted in. Get my words out in the end. I'm excited, you see. Last tourney. And who has these in Ultimate Dream Team? I believe Jamie, when Life Gives You Lemons, our current winner, has both of these. So he won't mind who wins here. He will get a win either way, which will give him a 5-point advantage. Unless, of course, Benny P has either of them, which he does not. And it's been a pretty good fight so far. With only 22 seconds left. We've got the Bomberman assist trophy causing some damage there. I would read what he's doing. You know what? I'll try and read what he's doing, but he's probably going to kill someone by the time I get to it. So that's usually what happens to poor old me. There we go. What did I say? And Mr. Game & Watch wins, who's also When Life Gives You Lemons' logo. So, sucks for Gorilla Limon though, obviously. But Mr. Game & Watch, who is now, win-wise, on something. 11 to 15, moving him up to 49th. So he's moved up 4 ranks and is still in relegation, but needs one more win to get out of it. Toon Link, on the other hand, 8 for 8. So he's had a very neutral tournament, moves down to 37th. Won't be where he ends, but here we go. Oh, well done to Mr. Game & Watch, who's 49th at this current point. And that's a win for the Gumtech, who now have a second fighter in Lucina, who faces off against the Energy Sources Banjo and Kazooie, who again was drafted in the Delta League in Phase 2. So for those who have just tuned in, which, as I say, why? I'm kidding. It doesn't matter when you join in. But Tourney of Tourneys is in 4 stages, or 4 phases, I should say. It's the right terminology. And those phases are Phase 1, which is, as the series begins, there's trades between teams who have excess amounts of like all-stars or pros. Very small phase, very few videos, just me explaining who goes where. And then we have Phase 2, which is the drafting, which is where the 2 empty spaces of the relegated fighters are filled with a few tourneys. And Banjo and Kazooie was in the Delta League and managed to qualify, so he got picked by the Energy Source. And then Phase 3, which is what we're watching now, which is all the main tourneys. And to hype you up for Phase 4, that is the Grand Championship, which involves 2 tourneys. Firstly, the qualifying rounds, where you have the top 8 beta fighters versus the second-ranked Alpha League fighters, of who won the tourneys. And then afterwards is the Grand Championship, where the 8 winners of that tourney face the 8 winners of the Alpha League. Makes so much sense, right? And if it doesn't, watch the introduction videos. It's the easiest way. But we have a win for Mr. Game & Watch, and a win for the Energy Source, which I love to see. Also, that's a good shout out to Makawewe, who has Banjo and Kazooie and gets a win. Unfortunately for Lucina, she's on 14 for 16 and goes down to 41st. So, Banjo is in. And Banjo is in and finds himself in a Crystal League match, which is an Opal Crystal League, which Banjo has 2, and Mr. Game & Watch has none. So, that's a good sign, right? Not to mention the fact that Banjo has beaten Mr. Game & Watch twice before. So, Mr. Game & Watch definitely a favourite there. And we go into Piranha Plant for the Cockadoodle Dudes versus Incineroar for the Fossil Fuels. Currently, Piranha Plant is ranked higher. But these guys have never fought before. And it's on a crap level, so who knows what's going to happen. And of course, when it comes to Dream Teams, no one has Piranha Plant. But a few people have Incineroar, so shout outs to Staroids, Magnum Condoms, the Randominators, and the Pit Crew all have an Incineroar, who's had 5 wins all series. He was expected to do more. He's actually one of the worst D tier fighters, with the likes of Snake, Mario, Pikachu, all doing better than him, Sonic, and they're the only people who've been picked. There was other fighters in D tier, but I don't have that information, unfortunately. And obviously the percentage is high because this level is difficult to knock people out of. And Incineroar is hitting some heavy attacks. He picks up an assist trophy, which is, I think it's Grey Fox from Metal Gear Solid. However, I ain't got time for that. As Incineroar gets through, big up to all the Incineroar fans. So, Incineroar finally getting some wins under his belt. 14 for 15, moves up to 38th. Whilst Piranha Plant, who was ranked higher, has had a mare and is on 7 for 7. So Piranha Plant actually won a tournament, I assume. So many matches going on, it's hard to keep up. Incineroar in 38th, excellent. It's also from the Opal League, so potentially for Banjo or Mr. Game & Watch, if they face Incineroar in the round after, that would be another Crystal League match. But obviously a long way to go, as we now have Fox from the Cosmo Vipers versus Corrin from the Energy Source, the second Energy Source fighter up. And Corrin has beaten Fox before, just the once. So I'm hoping for a Corrin win here. Shout outs to who has Corrin, so the Pit Crew, Rachel, and SP as well, and the Randominators. SP moving up to 9th, by the way, mate. And Jaff, you've gone up to 5th. You've taken over Jimmy. Oh, okay, there's another little Pokemon. Again, if you've watched this before, you know full well I do not have the pictures of the Pokemon, so I just have to guess. I think it's Chespin. We'll find out another time. As Fox is out, and there is a few people who do have Fox, but it's nearer the end of the ranking in the Ultimate Dream Teams, as Corrin gets the dub. Corrin, who was ranked 55th. I should have mentioned that. Oh man, I'm forgetting ranks, how important rank is at the moment. Is that Fox was 54th and Corrin was 55th, which is both relegation. However, Corrin gets a crucial win that could save her bacon. She's gone up to 51st. I say she. I put the male Corrin in. Oh no. I'm actually genuinely annoyed at myself for that. What a mistake. Anyway, Corrin has moved up to 51st. Let's keep saying she. And Fox, having lost, could potentially here, as he's on 9 for 16, moves down to 58th, which puts Fox in D2. So unless everyone else has a nightmare, Fox will only have one opportunity to get back into the league. Fox in D2. That's terrible. However, win for the energy source. And what a match this is. We've got Wolf versus Snake. Last time's final in which Wolf won somehow, as Wolf had never won a single fight this series. And then all of a sudden he did that. So that's exciting. Anyway, Corin isn't clear yet of relegation. She's -5. It's a risky business. Anyway, so far Wolf is fighting well again, but Snake is fighting back as soon as I speak. Snake from the Red Robots and Wolf from the Cosmo Vipers. Again, the Vipers fighting for top place and Robots in top place, so a win here for Wolf would be pretty incredible. I feel like Snake's got revenge on his mind. It's nice to see Wolf fighting well. I have been wrong on 1 or 2 occasions. Okay, so Wolf manages, I think the jetpack exploded. Wolf, who was looking to try and get out of relegation, is firmly back in it. He's 59th, so he's gone back into D2. It was a real good effort from Wolf there, but it was not enough as he goes back to losing ways. Wins 5 this tourney in 1 tournament. That's it. Snake, though, 16 for 15. That is great for Ultimate Dream Teams, for sure, as loads of people have Snake, who's now in 34th. And gets a win for the Red Robots, who are cementing their way into the top 10. And here we have a Crystal League match between Richter from the Cosmo Vipers, again, who are yet to have anyone through, versus Falco from Gorilla Limon, who also have no one through. This is a crystal match for the Topaz League, in which at the moment Ice Climbers have 4 wins and are favourites to win that. Falco only has 1 and Richter has 2, so this would put Richter in 3 and in a very good position. Obviously, Ultimate Dream Team wise, Benny P needs the win for Richter if he's looking to take over when life gives you lemons. But Falco is going to not pick up that hammer as Richter makes a play for it, and that should be game, set and match, which means that Falco is in deep poo. He did dodge it for a little bit. No, Falco is in deep poo. Richter, 12 for 6, good for Benny P. And Richter moves up to 14th as well, whereas Falco, it's going to be sad, buddy. 9 for 16, Falco's in 57th, which has actually pushed Fox into D1. So Fox is avoiding it currently. Well, maybe. It all comes down to where the teams... no, just ignore me. That was an old rule that I thought of. Doesn't count. Anyway, that's great news for Richter, who gets through and obviously, like I said, wins a Crystal League match. As Richter goes through to face Snake, who I believe is on... Both of those fighters are in Mega Drive, I think. Who's one of our Ultimate Dream Teams, of course. It's my brother. Anyway, Falco. Richter with his 3rd Crystal Win match. Who knows what's going to happen there? Anyway, this is a key one, and this is 2 cockadoodle dudes. It is another Crystal match for the Ruby League, which I don't think King K. Rool has any. And Steve has 2. So, apart from that, Steve has beaten King K. Rool before, but King K. Rool is, at the moment, the top Beta League fighter and is aiming to become an all-star and needs to win here if he, you know, like I said at the start, if he wants to be an all-star or wants to be Spartan, which is the best fighter of the series. Byleth obviously took it from his cusp in the last tourney. And so far, he is demolishing Steve. I know both of these guys are in dream teams. What about top ranks? Benny P, still 4 points behind, could need a win here for King K. Rool. It's a good move there by Steve, who's managing to avoid the beast that is the King, who we can all say has had an amazing tournament. As far as Steve, in fairness, Steve's ranked 18th, so... nothing going on at the moment. But we've gone under a minute. Steve has picked up his final smash. There's also a bomb there, though. Doesn't want to hit that. He's landed the final smash. He's hit King K. Rool. This could be it. That's an amazing final smash, by the way. Boom. King K. Rool is officially out, which means that he may not be an all-star now. So let's do that. King K. Rool, 22 for 15, moves down to 10th place. With Pyra/Mythra and Richter both behind him by only 1 point. So they could also take the top Beta League crown away from King K. Rool, which would be bonkers. But yeah, he might not be an all-star, so we could have 8 Alpha League fighters, which makes sense, but we'll see what happens anyway. Anyway, congratulations to Steve, who 12 for 7 puts him in 17th. And obviously Steve, great news for Steve fans as he gets another Ruby win, which means that he's on 3 and he's the only person on 3 as well, as King K. Rool loses in the new Crystal League he's found himself in. And obviously that was a Cockadoodle Dude versus Cockadoodle Dude, so a Cockadoodle Dude got through. And here is the last... Well, do you know what? This is an epic fight, actually. I was going to say the last stand for Roy the Boy, but Young Link as well. Both ranked 62nd and 63rd. Both were drafted in the Gamma League. So they were the 7th fighter of each team. So they both did pretty well at the start. Now they're 2 of the worst. And Roy the Boy needing that win for the Red Robots, but Young Link... Okay, so Roy the Boy just got parried down to his death, which means that he'll be in the Delta League next series and only has 1 opportunity to qualify. Roy the Boy, my good friend, he does not belong in this tournament. 5 for 16. I'm sorry, Roy. Only person to have Roy the Boy. He's now in 64th and goes beneath Diddy Kong. Could be the worst fighter. And Young Link, 8 for 15, still in 62nd, but this could be the start of him clawing his way back up the ranks. And he faces Steve next, who he has beaten before, so who knows what's going to happen. Ultimate Dream Team. Benny P with Young Link, 3 points behind when life gives you lemons. And Jamie. Anyone have Greninja or Cloud? No, none of you guys do. SP, you've moved up to 8th, by the way. You've gone above Nippleback and wow. Okay, so we have another energy source fighter with the Source, surely. Source in 6th currently. Maybe. I must have not finished that. I can't see where they're moving. Why have I not done that yet? Okay, I'm doing it now. I hope this is a good fight. He says. Let's then... Oh dear. What happened? Greninja beat Cloud. That's crazy enough. That is crazy enough. Right, teammate. I'm just going to keep like mumbling until I've succeeded in what I was doing. So it was a fantastic win there from none other than Greninja from the energy source, which means the source have now got 3 fighters through. You know, I'm impressed with that. Okay, I've done what I needed to do. Whew. So the energy source have moved up to 6th, and the Shroom Dogs have moved down to 7th. That's what I wanted. I'm back in the game. And obviously Greninja with a win for the source, which means another win to put us, well, say to put us. We're 1 point off of the Gumtech now, so that's pretty close. Cloud with a sad old victory, 13 for 16, is now 43rd. So he is safe from relegation, and Greninja was in D2 and has moved up 4 ranks, now in D1, which could be huge. Even if Greninja doesn't win the tourney, that win could be something. So well done to Greninja, well done to the pit crew. Rachel was the only person to have Greninja. I think you also have Cloud as well. That part sucks, but yeah, Cloud is out. Sorry, Cloud. Next up is Diddy Kong, our currently potentially worst fighter versus Ken. Ken ranked 47th. It's just avoiding relegation. A win here for Ken would protect him, whereas Diddy Kong is in deep, deep poo. And will most likely be relegated, but again, it could be Gamma, could be Delta, so wins are still important. Both these guys from the Shroom Dogs, coincidentally. Okay, Diddy Kong is poning Ken at the moment. Ken, who's in no dream teams, and Diddy Kong, who I believe is in a few. He's in around Dominators, and he's in Boom Makalaka. So who's the Energy Source's last fighter? Oh, Pac-Man. He's meant to be one of our best. Okay, so far, Diddy Kong is fighting well, but I do not want to jinx it. Do I? And Ken's in trouble here if he does lose. Diddy Kong keeps using the same move, but it's working. He picks up a blue shell. That could be game, set, match if he holds on. He's thrown it. Ken's in big trouble here. Blue shell misses. Blue shell never misses. Okay, 40 seconds. And Ken's picked up a scythe. Oh, he's done a good hit there. Oh, Diddy Kong holds on. I thought that was game, set, match here. This is closer than I thought it was going to be. Diddy Kong is on the bad side. Oh, that attack is just not killing. It's doing everything but killing. Okay, there's two final smashes. One of them is probably a fake. But Diddy Kong picks up his. And it lands, and that is it. Ken is surely dead, and Diddy Kong gets the win. Which means that Ken, who I'm pretty sure was only promoted this series, I have that information. Yeah, he was drafted in the Delta League, is going straight back down. There's a 3 for 8. Puts him in 49th, so he may still avoid it yet. We'll see how that goes. But because he's had only a few wins, because he hasn't been in 2 series, he will be at the bottom of the pile. So Ken is in trouble. Diddy Kong, though, despite being in trouble, could still get a few wins in there for the Ultimate Dream teams. As he faces off against Greninja in the next round, who he has beaten before. So Diddy Kong in a good place at the moment. Next up is Dark Samus, ranked 46th, versus Lucas, ranked 52nd. Both of these guys in trouble again. Dark Samus from the Gumtech, Lucas from the Shroom Dogs, who have just got their first fighter through. And that was their first fight, so that makes sense. And you know I want Lucas out, right? I don't need to make a thing about that. No one has Lucas. Few people have Dark Samus. King K. Rule rules. Rosie with Samus. Dark Samus. Chode with Dark Samus. Nathan with Dark Samus. Good for you guys. And as well, Austin and Molly as well, all having Dark Samus who just got through. Everyone's happy with that. Lucas, unfortunately, 10 for 16 means Lucas is 55th and will be relegated. Wop, wop, wop. Dark Samus, however, 4 for 7, needing that win, and that could probably put her to safety. Nothing is set in stone. She's on -3, so not super safe yet. Very good from a draft fighter to get through there. And next up is Pac-Man, the last energy source fighter, versus Jigglypuff from Gorilla Limon. How does that fare? Jamie, I think you've got both of these. Yeah, so Jamie, you've got 2 wins but lost 2 people. And you're 3 points clear at the moment. Benny P, you've lost King K. Rool. You've got Richter through. And you've got Young Link through. But you've also got Jigglypuff. So if Jigglypuff goes out of here, that would benefit Jamie more than Benny P. Secretly, Jamie rooting for Pac-Man. Me as well rooting for Pac-Man, which is never a good sign, but he is an energy source fighter and we want to overtake the Gumtech, in which we're now 2 points clear. And that's it. Pac-Man is through. That is huge news for when life gives you lemons. And good news for Pac-Man. 19 for 15. He moves up to 19th, which means he's probably definitely going to be a pro next season. Jigglypuff, ranked 54th, is now in 58th D2 tier. So that is terrible news for Jigglypuff, who is most likely going to be relegated into the Delta League. Coincidentally, interesting fact going on here, guys, is, and I did not see this coming, Pac-Man, for the energy source, having 4 fighters through, face off against a tech fighter. Now, firstly, the tech and the source are neck and neck, so could do with a source win there. Secondly, that is an Amethyst Crystal match. Okay? And in the Amethyst League, Dark Samus is on 3. So if Dark Samus beats Pac-Man, she'll be on 4. And if Diddy Kong beats Greninja, he's also in the Amethyst League. So Dark Samus could potentially get a Crystal League win here. Which would be interesting because Rosie from King K. Rool Rules has Dark Samus. I believe. I am correct. That would really change things. So that's going to be a really exciting match next time. Wow. Whew. Anyway, we have got Rob from the Red Robots, currently our top team, versus Pyra Mythra from the Fossil Fuels, drafted in the Delta League. However, absolute titans who are currently ranked 13th and are close to all-star rank. If they can manage to beat Rob, who is a good fighter. He's actually ranked 23rd for the Red Robots. And is looking to be a pro. But must win this, otherwise he probably doesn't stand a chance. Pyra Mythra obviously have won a tournament this time round. And there's another differential for the pit crew. And Rachel. Rob's in no one's team, so no one cares about Rob. Sorry, Rob. Great hits there from Pyra. 87% for Rob. Kind of secretly want Pyra to get through. And it'd be good for the Fossil Fuels. Means the Red Robots won't run away with it. That's a great attack and Pyra wins, okay? That is awesome. So Rob, 17 for 15. Not going to be a pro. Sorry, dude. Pyra and Mythra with a win. 13 for 6 puts them on +7. They are currently 10th, moving above King K. Rool. However, they are on joint points, so because King K. Rool has more wins, because he's been in 2 series, he would be above Pyra Mythra. So they still need to carry on winning. Plus, they're not in the All-Star position yet. As for who is, Pokemon Trainer has moved up into the top 8, which means that they'll be an All-Star. But good win there for Pyra and Mythra, who are 10th. Love to see that. And this match here is another excellent match, which is between Wario, believe it or not, from the Shroom Dogs, and Duck Hunt from the Red Robots. Duck Hunt currently 61st, Wario currently 47th, so near relegation. But it's a Crystal League match for the Citron Crystal League, and they both have 3. So winning this would put one of them on 4. Trying to see if anyone else is in the Citron League. Okay, Young Link is in the Citron League, which means that Wario or Duck Hunt would have to get through to the final and face off Young Link to win the Citron League. May not happen. However, anything can happen in the Grand Championship, so... But we're going to check that out later. Firstly, I need to give you guys some facts. There's a little blaster there, okay? Let's do that. Let's do that as a fact. That Duck Hunt just picked up. I've been pretty poor on it. So it's a little blue blaster. And you know what it's called? I don't. Oh, it's called... I found it. It's called a Steel Diver. Give the torpedo a second and it will shoot off at high speed. Quick, subtle, destructive. Very flirty with me, the paper. Anyway, Duck Hunt currently winning. Duck Hunt, who is in Mega Drive, my brother Jimmy's team, and Wario's in quite a few teams, including our 3rd place team, King K. Rool Rules, Rosie, and Star Wars, our 4th place team. I thought Wario had won it there, but he hasn't. Not yet. Anyone else have Wario? Yeah, the Randominators, SP, having a great tournament. Diddy, Richter, Incineroar, and Corrin through. So a win here for Wario. It's not looking likely, SP, sorry. Wario is probably dead at this point, which means that Duck Hunt gets the win. Which should help Duck Hunt move up a little bit. 9 for 16, currently in 56th. So Duck Hunt is at the bottom of D1, and Wario is about to move into D1. 51st. So Wario now in trouble. But Duck Hunt with a crucial Crystal League win. As Duck Hunt now has 4 wins under their belt, all against different people. Link, Young Link, Toon Link, all the Links, and Wario. Great news for Duck Hunt, who faces off against Pyra and Mythra in the next round, who have beaten Duck Hunt before. So they are not out of trouble yet. Far from it. And we have our last 2 fights here. We've got Wii Fit Trainer, who won a tourney recently. versus Peach. So Cockadoodle Dudes, who... Oh no, they have one person through. They have Steve through. I'll tell you who doesn't know, Gorilla Limon, and this is their last chance. They lost Toon Link, Falco, and Jigglypuff. So Gorilla Limon are definitely coming bottom. Yeah, they are miles away. Sorry, guys. The Shroom Dogs also doing bad. They have Diddy Kong through, but an absolute roaring performance from the Energy Source, who are looking at 5th place and thinking, I want a slice of that. The Fuels also have 3 fighters through, so they've done extremely well too. How far are they away from anyone else? They are 1 point away from the Cosmo Vipers. Quite a few off of the Red Robots, who have 2 fighters through. Who have they lost? Rob and Weatherboy. They've not got the best Beta League team, let's face it. And currently, Peach is fighting really well. Wants to keep the Gorilla Limon having hope. Maybe even Team Nuggets and Molly's team, who's currently last. Did I just hear you say what? Yeah, Molly is displeased. That's her first interaction in Smash Com Tourney of Tourneys. She saved it for the end of Series 2. It was a special moment. And Peach White wins for Team Nuggets. She's celebrating inside. Anyway, Wii Fit Trainer, who obviously had an amazing tournament recently, is now 34th. Peach, however, 9 for 15, is 55th. And Peach trying to escape D2 as she goes into D1 and moves up 4 places. So like I said, it's so tight down there that just a few wins could see you safely through to next series. However, that's good for Gorilla Limon, who have their only fighter through. We'll take that. Next up is Rosalina from the Cosmo Vipers versus Isabel from the Gumtech. And usually I'd be like, this is a write-off. Like, who cares? Because no one has these guys. But Isabel is in the Gumtech, which means I need the Gumtech to lose for the Energy Source to take over them. So they only have Dark Samus through. Oh no, they have Mr. Game & Watch. But that's 2 Tech versus Source fighters, both Crystal League matches. Awesome. It's really coming down to that, who wants 5th place. But anyway, I want Rosalina and Luma to win here for the Cosmo Vipers. I want Isabel gone. Rosalina does get an assist trophy that's done some serious damage to Isabel. I want to know who that assist trophy is. I've got to know. Do I have time before Isabel dies? I do, it's Lynn. Her name is Lynn. After a moment, appears next to an opponent and attacks with a single strong sword swipe that has a high launching power, as we saw on Isabel. Not enough to kill her, bear in mind, but it was enough to do something. Well done, Lynn. Anyway, Roz, what are you doing? Letting Isabel back in. That's a good throw. Isabel does not want to die. Another throw by Roz. Still not killing. Hit harder. Okay, Roz, you cannot lose this girl. Picks up a Pokemon that is a Metagross. No, Isabel. No, I was going to explain what a Metagross does, but I'm too engrossed. Rosalina wins. Isabel is out. That was against the odds because Rosalina's lost to Isabel before. But Roz should be safe now. 13 to 15. Yep, she is completely safe. Not very high up, but she won't care at this point. Isabel, 17 for 15. Moves down to 28, so won't be a pro. Lol. But that is good. Rosalina facing off against Peach in the next round in another Crystal League match, which is an Obsidian Crystal League match. Peach has 1, Roz has none. It's not that exciting, but the fact that we get another Crystal League match is always pleasant to the ears. And that's it for round 1 as we go into our final round 2 of Series 2 Phase 3. And it starts with that Crystal League match between Mr. Game & Watch and Banjo and Kazooie. Banjo has beaten Mr. Game & Watch twice before. They were both drafted from the Delta League. And this is a Tech versus Source match. And currently the Tech are on -3 and the Energy Source are on -3. Oh man. This is intense. This is the kind of moment where we lose everyone. Ultimate Dream Team. Jamie with a 4-point lead at the moment, having through Pac-Man and Mr. Game & Watch. Oh no, Jamie, you're going to be rooting for the Gum Tech here. Hate to hear that. Anyway, Banjo's fighting extremely well currently, and is knocking Mr. Game & Watch all over the shop. That's a massive hit from Banjo, but he also gets hit by that pink thing. I don't know what that pink thing is, but it's just done him some serious damage. Oh my god. Okay, Mr. Game & Watch is fighting back. But Banjo picks up a Pokemon and appears to have thrown it completely off of the side of this level. That's a great throw there from Banjo. It's not enough to kill Mr. Game & Watch. That's a good attack. No, it's not. It's a bit crap. Oh man, this is two intentionally small levels. I could not keep up with this if every level was this. And I know that happens in tournaments, but... Oh, I thought Mr. Game Watch was down and out there, but he was fighting well. Great hit there from Banjo. There is a Warp Star over there, and that would end the game, but it doesn't matter because Banjo wins, which means that Banjo is on 10 for 7, is now 23rd and could become a pro, whereas Mr. Game & Watch is probably going to be relegated. Ends in around 51st, so it's kind of mid D1, so probably end up in D1. And of course, Crystal League wise, we've got a nice little win there for Banjo, who gets his 3rd win against Mr. Game & Watch. Well, he's had 2 against Mr. Game & Watch, but has beaten him before, probably in the old Opal League. So, well done to Banjo, who gets through. And it's 23rd. And a win for the Energy Source, who now overtake the Gum Tech. Oh, I've got to see it for myself. Oh, I'd love to see that. Catch up the Cockadoodle Dudes as well. Don't get me too excited. Don't get me top 4. Anyway, Incineroar for the Fossil Fuels versus Corin for the Energy Source. And I've got to be rooting for Source. I've got to. Corin, let's go. Sorry that I didn't give you the right skin. I was at work. I was rushed. I ended up doing some spreadsheet shit and I just lost full concentration. Okay, Incineroar picks up an assist trophy. That doesn't matter because Corin wins. Maybe I should always put Corin in this skin. Incineroar loses. Sorry to anyone who has Incineroar. Rachel, obviously you have both. Incineroar, 14 for 16. 40th. Not great. Corin, though, escape and relegation, is now -4 and moves up to 47th. So not completely safe yet. But we love to see it as only the Energy Source are actually through at the moment. And that's great, because Corin come from the red robot, so we love to see that. Energy Source, let's keep going. We need a red, not a red robot. We need a Gum Tech to lose. That's all in our hands. Anyway, Snake versus Richter, and how is this for Ultimate Dream Team? Okay, Benny P, who's 4 points behind, needs a win here for Richter. But if Rosie gets this, she could be creeping 2 points behind Karaoke Kings if Snake wins. Mac away, you've moved up to 10th, by the way, and SP, you are now 8th. I think you was 8th earlier, but you're still 8th. Snake deciding to fight well all of a sudden. And if the Cosmo Vipers, which obviously Richter is a part of, I don't know what happened there, but Snake is alive and Richter is not. So Benny P has lost Richter, which could be completely costly to the Ultimate Dream Team Championship. Snake getting a win, 17 for 15, moves to 27th. Don't tell me he's going to be a pro. That would be crazy. Richter, 12 for 7, moves down to 17th and will be a pro, which is really cool for Richter. But that all pretty much does it for the Red Robots, who are 8 points clear of the Cosmo Vipers. So unless there's some crazy Crystal League action, don't know where I was going with that. Then the Red Robots won't come first, but at the moment they're looking likely. Next up we have 2 fighters who drafted in 7th in the Gamma League. And that is Steve, who is 16th, the only Cockadoodle Dude fighter left and in a safe position to be a pro, versus Young Link, who is 62nd, has beaten Steve before for the Fossil Fuels, but is also very low and in big trouble. So Young Link needs this win. Also, Ultimate Dream Team, Benny P, you've not got Jigglypuff, Richter or King K. Only Young Link left. It's Young Link or nothing, I'm afraid, my friend. Where's Rosie? Rosie, 2 points behind Benny P. Could come second. We could see Jamie and Rosie first and second. That'd be mad. Power couple. Absolute power couple. Now, who has Steve? Let's give some Steve shouts. Staroids and Tenement Chilies as well. Young Link isn't giving up. He wants to survive. He wants to be in Smash Com Tourney of Tourneys Series 3. He doesn't want to just be a memory. But Steve has picked up his Smash, but it doesn't matter because Young Link is over and out, which means that when Life Gives You Lemons are a grasp away from winning the Ultimate Dream Team Series 2. Now, the only way that can be affected is in the Grand Championship, but we will discuss that at the very end of this video, so stick around. Or skip to the end, whatever you want to do. Don't skip to the end, stick around. Steve, anyway, 13 for 7. Is 14th now. Steve is currently the 3rd best fighter in the Beta League. Impressive. And Young Link is shit. 8 for 16. Is 62nd and will most likely, I will definitely end in 62nd. But a good fight there between Steve and Snake, who have never fought before. Steve is almost double Snake's rank. That's an interesting fact. And we have our 3rd Energy Source fighter, who we need to see through and beat the Shroom Dogs. Knock Diddy Kong out. Sorry to everyone who has Diddy Kong. SP and Mac. But I need to see an Energy Source get through. That's all I'm saying. And you're probably happy that I'm not rooting for you. But this would knock the Shroom Dogs out and put the Source in a very comfortable position. Maybe to get 4th. I'm going to keep an eye on that. We are 5 wins away from the dudes. Who knows what will happen? Who knows? The moment was pretty cagey for the first 20 seconds, but an item there that was thrown by Diddy Kong did some serious damage to Greninja. There's the jetpack. The jetpack that exploded earlier on someone. I can't remember who. Diddy Kong's fighting well. Both these guys needing survival, by the way. 56th for Greninja, 63rd for Diddy Kong. And Diddy Kong gets the win, so the first Source fighter is out. As Greninja loses. 9 for 16. Greninja probably going to be relegated in 61st. Oh, relegated into D2 by the looks of things. But Diddy Kong, who is currently 63rd, needing to win this tournament to even contemplate getting anywhere. Still in 63rd even after getting that win. That's crazy, right? Yeah. But good for Ultimate Dream Teams, like I always say. So, well done to Diddy, who, that's the 2nd time Diddy's beaten Greninja as well. So, and here we go. The Amethyst Crystal League match, which this is crazy insane, to be honest, because if Dark Samus wins, they'll be on 4 and face off against Diddy Kong. Jamie, you haven't won it yet, because Rosie could come out and win 1st place. Oh man. It's all on Dark Samus to win here. Jamie, you obviously have Pac-Man. This is crazy. I've got to root for Pac-Man, sorry Rosie, because he's an Energy Source fighter. I need those wins. I need the gun tech out. But that would make for interesting television. I thought Dark Samus was out, but Dark Samus remains alive. This is intense. There's one of those big windy hammer things. It's probably a special name for it. That's a great dodge by Dark Samus, doing some parkour shit right there. Okay, they're struggling to hit each other, which is quite a cool level. Okay, that's a good hit there from Pac-Man though, who is going to be peppering Dark Samus. No, Dark Samus dodges. This is crazy. Jamie and Rosie, I hope you're watching together because this is insane in the membrane. I can't even speak. There's literally, it's just end to end. We've got 45 seconds left. Pac-Man has picked up an assist trophy. But Dark Samus lays a good hit. Oh, throws the assist trophy. No messing. Dark Samus wins. Shit. Okay. 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 I mean, that's terrible for the energy source. Pac-Man goes down to 23rd. So he's holding on to pro position. But that is not what we're here to talk about today. Dark Samus, 5 for 7, moves up to 41st. Nothing too exciting, right? However, the Amethyst Crystal League could be at a close as we... Oh my god, I was not expecting this. So, Dark Samus is fighting Diddy Kong next, who she has beaten before. And if she beats him, she will officially win the Amethyst Crystal League. 5 wins. And currently, Rosie is 5 wins away from Jamie for top spot. Oh my god. That's craziness. Damn. Right. Okay. Whew, composure. Okay, anyway, the Source and Gumtech are drawing again, so really need Dark Samus to kind of lose, but also it's exciting. Anyway, Pyra have beaten Duck Hunt before for the fossil fuels and need to beat the red robots to stand a chance of getting anywhere near them, which is highly unlikely, but never over until it's over. Also, Pyra are fighting for all-star position, whereas Duck Hunt are fighting for relegation and survival. So both of these fighters with a different need here. And a big superstar there that Pyra landed in, and Pyra are out. I hate that item. I might just turn that off as Duck Hunt Duo get through. 10 for 15, currently ranked in 51st. They are three spaces away from safety, which is 1 or 2 points. Pyra, that is gutting. 13 for 7, meaning that they are 14th. And the winner of the Beta League, well, unless Steve could still do something. Actually, no, Steve is still a player in this. Oh man, that item is such robbery. Poor old Pyra. I was really rooting for you. Anyway, next up, Obsidian Crystal League match between Peach and Rosalina and Luma. And the fight for last place is on. Oh, both Callum, Oz, and Molly both have Dark Samus, who is on 5 wins at the moment, currently. Oh man, so much will happen if Dark Samus wins. Molly also having Peach. That's it, that's all I've got. Peach and Dark Samus. Basically that's a battle between last place. I just thought, but both have Dark Samus, which is crazy because that means they may both not be in last place, depending on what happens in that next round. And I am in total shock. Total shock. You can't write this stuff. I literally did not even fathom that that would happen. Like, Dark Samus in the Gamma League or Delta League won 3 times in a row. An Amethyst Crystal League match. So, Dark Samus, oh, Peach wins. Fantastic. That's obviously good for Gorilla Limon as well. But yeah, Dark Samus won 3 matches in the Gamma League and then hasn't fought one since, and now is fighting 2. Peach for survival, 51st, has overtaken Duck Hunt Duo. And Rosalina, 13 for 16, is 43rd, is safe. But Peach goes through to face. Oh, obviously Crystal win as well. Should add that. Peach with a 2nd win. I think it's a bit too late for Peach to survive. Rosalina and Loma. But who knows? Stranger things have happened. Both Duck Hunt and Peach were drafted in 8th place, and they're both in 51st and 52nd. So a win there could be crucial for either of those fighters. Well, it will be crucial for one of those fighters. Duck Hunt has beaten Peach before though. Anyway, round 3, and we have Energy Source versus Energy Source. Guaranteed Source semi-finalists with Banjo and Kazooie versus Corin. showed. Nippleback have moved up to 7th place. Who's moved down? Ash from We Will Rock You has moved down to 9th. Nathan, wow, 11th. And Rachel for the pit crew in 13th currently. But you do have Corin. A win here could be crucial. And who has Banjo? I know that McAway has Banjo. And it's Ash as well. So both you guys, you're actually 2 points away from each other. But you both have Banjo. So huge stuff happening. I can't even keep up. Can I keep up? Okay, Banjo's picked up the final smash, which means that he should now win this. If it lands. It does land. Corin's in big trouble. No, Corin's dead. Sorry, Corin. Game, set, and match. Banjo wins. So, 11 for 7. And Corin could now be relegated. 11 for 16. Corin is in the danger zone. Again, may not end in the danger zone, but it's currently in the danger zone. And Banjo gets through. Great. Love to see that. Currently 19th as well for Banjo. That's awesome. Definitely going to be a pro. Definitely. For a first tournament, that's sick. The Energy Source have a pro fighter. What a day. Snake versus Steve. So, Steve now is... Let's cover Steve. So, he's on 6 in total, and King K. Rool is on 7. So, Steve could actually, with a few wins under his belt, could become A, an all-star, or B, the top Beta League fighter. So, interesting. But does have to face Snake, who is on top form at the moment. They've not fought before either. Snake picks up that little Metroid thing, which is called a Metroid. Latches onto players and hits them repeatedly. Can be attacked and shaken off temporarily. Can only be KO'd if frozen. Let it go. It's a Disney pun. So far, both these guys are fighting well and dodging, making it all sorts of boring for us to watch. But Steve throws a boomerang and then gets out a Pokemon. Snake's still got this sword, by the way. He's turned like Ninja Snake. No one's against Ninja Snake. Oh, that Pokemon actually exploded that bomb. Oh no. Oh, they're still alive. Thank God for that. No Pokemon were harmed during the filming of this. And Steve has picked up his final smash, and that could be game, set, match for Snake. If Steve manages to use the item, but he's been pushed away. What a waste. No, Steve lives. Steve just flew. I have no idea what happened there. And because of Steve's survival skills, Snake is now in trouble and blows up. Which means that Snake is out and Steve continues on. 14 for 7, which means that Steve is now in 10th, just like Pyro and Myth were, and are currently on the same points as King K. Rool. Crazy. Snake, however, 17 for 16, loses, is in 33rd, obviously. And Steve goes through to face Banjo, 2 brand new fighters, both doing very well this tourney. So that's going to be a really interesting match. Steve with it all to play for. But this match, this is the one. This is the one. Wow, wow, wow. I couldn't even watch if I was you, Jamie. I'd be out the room. We've got Diddy Kong from the Shroom Dogs versus Dark Samus from the Gumtech. I need the Gumtech to lose, however... Things would be exciting if Dark Samus does win. We shall see. Dark Samus ranked 41st. Diddy Kong ranked 63rd. One of the worst fighters. And is currently getting stuffed. There's a lot of Pokeballs there. There's a lot being thrown about. And Diddy Kong... Shit! That is flipping crazy. Right, okay, so. Whoa, whoa. That is, I did not see that coming. So Dark Samus has officially won the Amethyst Crystal League out of nowhere as well. That is going to shake so much up. I'm just going to cut now because I've got loads to sort out. I'm going to do that, and then we will be back with some exciting changes. Wow, excellent. Right, guys, I'm going to start with the extremely sad news that because Dark Samus happened to win the Crystal League, the Amethyst Crystal League, out of nowhere, it does mean that the Energy Source have lost their lead on them by 6 points. It was so close. 6th will have to do. We come 6th last time. What's the point in ruining tradition? Anyway, that's the first bit. After that, so looking at the Crystal League, we have the Amethyst and Citron League there. Now this is really, really interesting because obviously Dark Samus has just won, which means that everyone there, as we know, is cleared. And Dark Samus will officially be removed from the Amethyst League another time. But Dark Samus has moved into the Citron League. There she is at the bottom there with no wins under her belt. However, she could have her first Crystal League match in the Citron League if Duck Hunt Duo get through in the next fight. And if Duck Hunt Duo get through, they will be fighting for the Citron Crystal League right here and now against Dark Samus. Which would mean Duck Hunt would be in clear safety. Absolutely clear safety. Anyway, as for fighter rank, there's Dark Samus, 19th, moves up 27 spaces into pro position, which to be honest is a terrible pro to have because Dark Samus hasn't been very good up until like this moment. So unlucky for the Gun Tech unless they end up having to trade her off, which actually won't be the case because the Tech only had one fighter of Kirby left as a pro. So at the moment, Pokemon Trainer would be their all-star. They'd have Kirby and Dark Samus. So Dark Samus is a real terrible pro to have. But hey-ho, she can clearly do some good stuff. And then, what's the bit? Can I just stop there? Or should I talk about Ultimate Dream Team? I'll talk about Ultimate Dream Team because we're going to start at the bottom. There is Team Nuggets and the Wonder Boys, still last. Had obviously a terrible tournament so far. However, with Dark Samus getting those 5 points, Molly is now only 3 points away from Rachel, so that's how far behind she was, but that's changed everything now. Oz as well, only 2 points behind Rachel. So anything can happen. And we're going to scroll. Nathan, with Team Wah, moving up to 7th, 2 places. Nippleback, Chode having Dark Samus, moving up 4 spaces into 4th place on 69, and that was always going to happen, wasn't it? And we move up. Benny P moves down to 3rd, which means 1st and 2nd, power couple, is not what you expected, as Rosie is currently 1st, as she had Dark Samus, meaning that she is now 1 point ahead of when life gives you lemons. And currently, Jamie, you have no fighters through, I don't think. Which means that Rosie could technically be the winner depending on the Grand Championship, which we will cover, like I keep saying. But at the moment, Rosie is in the driving seat here. Congratulations to anyone who has Dark Samus, and that has changed so much. And who knows what will happen in this next fight as well with Duck Hunt Duo. If Duck Hunt wins, we have another Crystal League match, and I'm going to have to come back here later and do another archives. So many archives. But yeah, guys, stick around, because this is just getting spicy. Jamie, I cannot believe you're 2nd at the moment. Like, imagine on the last tournament, getting robbed. Just like that. Just imagine what that would feel like. We continue. I'm only joking, man. Who knows what can happen in the Grand Championship. But at the moment, congratulations, Rosie. That trophy's going to look great on the mantelpiece. Next to the poker trophy. Oh, God. I've dug myself a hole. Anyway, crazy stuff here as well as Duck Hunt from the Red Robots faces off against Peach for Gorilla Lemon. The last Lemon fighter in. The last Red Robot in. And Duck Hunt has beaten Peach before. But if Duck Hunt wins today, Duck Hunt will be playing for the Citron League. Crystal match. Crystal League. Crystal something. This is crazy. This only the last tournament this would happen. Just exhausted. Shall I talk about that windy item? Screw it. Let's talk about it. If I can find it. Gives me a breather. I'm losing my voice. All that excitement over some AI just fighting each other. I can't find it is though. Oh no, I've even searched every page. What's going on anyway? Duck Hunt can't win. My excitement would be too much. It's almost been a minute and these guys have barely touched each other, by the way. Sorry. That item doesn't even exist. I've not got it. What's it called? It blows wind. No idea. I can't find it. Nah, that's it. Oh, so weird that I haven't got that though. Who won? You're kidding me. You're kidding me. I can't watch. Okay. Oh man, I need to retire. This is the end of Smash Com Tourney of Tourneys, as we know it. Anyway, Peach loses. Peach can get relegated. However, for someone known as Duck Hunt, just this win could be enough. 11 for 15. Duck Hunt on -4 is out of relegation. However, Duck Hunt officially going into a Crystal League match. I'm pretty sure, Jimmy, you're the only person with Duck Hunt. I don't know how good it will do you. We're going to see that later. However, Duck Hunt is now fighting for the Citron Crystal League. 2 Crystal Leagues in 1 tourney. This could be crazy. This could be... Who knows? That's the only sound effect I've got. Anyway, Banjo and Kazooie versus Steve. So Energy Source versus Cockadoodle Dudes. Steve fighting to become an all-star, and a win here could do just that, as he's currently on, scroll up, 7. So if he wins, he goes on 8. If he loses, he goes back to 7, which then opens up the playing field to who gets that position. However, if he wins the tourney, he would officially be an all-star, which would be crazy. However, Banjo has picked up that Pokemon that's doing some proper damage on Steve, whose aim to be all-star is at risk here due to this energy source. Energy source, what's the word? Scoundrel. 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 God, I'm done. Can you imagine if Banjo does get through it though? Mac, you still haven't had a gold this tourney, is that right? And if Banjo wins, that would be it. Almost got Sephiroth, almost got Snake. It's not over yet. You know, I like to jinx, but at the moment Banjo is fighting well. And he wins. Just like that, he wins. So that is what a tourney. Steve loses, which means Steve will not be a pro today. It means that, oh, it will be a pro, won't be an all-star. It means that Banjo goes to 17th. And he's currently in C tier and could move up to B tier. Which again would be really good for the Energy Source, who currently... Oh, that would give us Pac-Man and Banjo as pros. And Dark Pit maybe as an all-star, maybe, depending on what happens to Dark Pit. Who knows? We could end up with no all-star, and that, you know, that would be life. Anyway, Banjo gets through. Well done to Banjo, which means, Mac, you could have a winner here. How are you getting on? Boom, you've moved up. You're still in 10th. But you're just waiting on that gold. But here we go. A Citron Crystal League fight. There's been so many Crystal League matches. I can't even look at that sheet anymore. There's been so many. But if Duck Hunt wins here for the Red Robots, Duck Hunt will be safe from relegation and will also be the winner of the Citron Crystal League. However, Dark Samus has only just won the Amethyst Crystal League. They're both fighting near the edge. This is going to be over quick. I can feel it. Dark Samus with a crazy attack. It's like Goldeen. Goldeen does nothing. That's the worst Pokemon that could have come out there. Duck Hunt fighting for more than safety. And no, it's not going to be a quick match. I lied. That's a good hit there from Dark Samus. It doesn't kill Duck Hunt though, who is still alive. And he's going to get that electric thing. That will make Dark Samus small and vulnerable. Okay, Duck Hunt's done it. Duck Hunt wins. Duck Hunt. Oh man. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, so out of nowhere, Duck Hunt Duo, 12 for 15. I'm not going to go to the archives because this doesn't mean as much in the Ultimate Dream Team. It's only Jimmy you have Duck Hunt. But Duck Hunt gets 1 win and then gets +5, which means Duck Hunt is now on 17 for 15 and moves up to 30th. And obviously that's another +5 for the red robots as well. So that is bonkers. So I'm not going to go to the archives, but I am going to fade out and go back in, he says. So I think a really important place to start with this occurrence is that Duck Hunt and Banjo, who are now in the final, were both drafted in 8th. So Duck Hunt, who'd been in the previous tournament, was relegated and then drafted again by luck. But look what, for Ultimate Dream Team wise, Duck Hunt's had 14 wins and only Jimmy picked him. But that shows even those bottom fighters, they could be crucial to racking up your points. So well done to Duck Hunt. Well done to Jimmy, who has Duck Hunt. And because of that, Jimmy, you have moved up to joint 3rd with Benny P. You are on 73 points. 4 points behind Jamie and 5 points behind Rosie. But what an incredible win for Duck Hunt. And the Citron League is over, which means that Duck Hunt now moves to the Emerald League. Which isn't going to be an Emerald League final or some weird final that will change everything. But no, incredible. Goodbye Citron League. Hello Emerald League. Incredible from Duck Hunt. That does mean the Citron League is now wiped. So that's Wario's 3 wins is gone out the window. And I'm just praying here for Banjo and Kazooie to win and for Makawami to walk away. It would be the perfect tournament for me if Banjo can win this. Energy Source win. Beat the robots who are miles ahead now. No chance. And Banjo. The Energy Source. A Source Fighter winning and Boom Makalaka getting their first goal would be everything. I can't even speak. I'm seriously gone. Duck Hunt picks up, not Duck Hunt, Banjo picks up his special. He is thrashing Duck Hunt at the moment. He uses his special. This has got to be it. I've got to move back. Let's go! Makawami with the win! Huzzah! Caught that really well. I'm glad that was on camera. Banjo, Energy Source winning, and Boom Makawami. Boom Makalaka, boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Do, 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 do. Oh my god. What a tournament. What a tournament. Duck Hunt Duo, 17 for 16. It's now in 36th or something along those lines. And Banjo, 13 for 7, moves up to 15th. And we have a tournament. This tournament's going to be so long. It's going to be like 2 hours long. Jeez. Well, congratulations to Banjo and Kazooie for winning. Energy Source, another fighter through to the Grand Championship qualifier. That's Banjo with potential to be Grand Champion, and Marth with an even more potential to be Grand Champion. Let's go. Much needed. And beating a red robot who are running away with everything right now. Yeah, That's all I've got. Should we just not go to the archives? Should we just call it a day? Maybe the archives needs its own like TV special. Yeah, let's do archives now. Oh God. Right, an awful lot to unfold there, guys. So let me do what I can, but this is obviously a big summary to how the series is going to end. I have a little bit of information here about Crystal Leagues, so I can tell you what can be influenced. For example, Byleth can't get enough wins to take over Sephiroth, so it looks like Sephiroth will be MVP, as half these fighters can't do anything. Villager could possibly... Villager's already on 1 win and has a lot of people they can fight. The Sapphire League is the one to look out for, but it is highly unlikely. It'd only be +5, so no MVP for Villager. When it comes down to the All-Star positioning, and you've got a lot of people there on 7, so Dark Pit, Pokemon Trainer, Simon and King K. Rool. The people who will be 7th and 8th will be the people who have the most wins. So in this case it would be Dark Pit and Simon. Oh, that's grim. That's real grim. But yeah, that means that they will be all-stars. There's so much to go through here. Steve has moved up 5 places. Banjo has moved up 20 after having a really good tournament and winning that tourney as well, obviously. Dark Samus moved up 23 spaces into 23rd. Now there is a gap there, so between C and D is being a pro and not being a pro, and there is a clear point between them. So it looks like Link, who was an all-star, Ice Climbers, who was an all-star, aren't going to be even pros next season as Pac-Man, and now newly appointed Dark Samus has entered the realm and will be a pro. Obviously, unless there's a Crystal League win in the Grand Championship. Now wins and loss don't count in the Grand Championships, so it's only to do with crystals. Anyway, people moving up, people moving down, Duck Hunt in safety. But what we really want to see is relegation, in which we've got anyone on -5 is in trouble. And it comes down to wins, exactly the same as the top, which means that Ken will be relegated despite being out there. Now, as they're all on 11 wins, it will go down to last series. So whoever is that top space, which happens to be DK. So DK and Ken would swap, and DK would be safe. Which is crazy, right? How he avoided that, I'll never know. But we do lose Roy, we do lose Luigi. And there is a 1-point gap as well between D1 and D2. So all those people in D2 will definitely be going down unless there's a Crystal League win. So Fox, Falco, Jigglypuff, Wolf, Greninja, Young Link, Diddy Kong and Bowser Jr. So that's it for the standings. Obviously things will change due to wins. So this isn't the exact scoring, so make sure to check that out on social media so you can see the full ranking list. Obviously that affects who's in what tier for next Ultimate Dream Team season as well. Looking at the team ranks, oh dear. The Red Robots have run away with it, and even a distinct amount of crystal matches won't save them. So when we have a look at last season, you've got 1 and 2 there. That's how it ended. So Gorilla Lemon and Shroom Dogs have swapped places for last. Ouch. Everyone else is the same except for the Red Robots and Cosmo Vipers. And remember, all of these teams change as well. So it's not just like it's the same fighters winning. Like there's been a massive change. So how weird is it that they're on the exact same points? And no one's drawn either, so that's not even taken into account. So Red Robots, congratulations. You have most likely won. We won't do the award ceremony yet, but I'm pretty sure you're good. Let's not go to Crystal League yet. Let's have a look at Spartan and Warrior. So Byleth will be the Spartan of Series 2, having 3 clear wins above anyone else. 11 in total, winning 17, losing 6. It's pretty incredible. And Warrior, as we assume, is going to be King K. Rool. All of those guys are new fighters. Banjo, Steve, Richter, Pyro, Dark Samus, Piranha Plant, Toon Link, and Ken was the other one as well. Duck Hunt almost doing something there, but it's King K. Rool who takes the Warrior trophy. Unless there's a Crystal League win, which we will get to, I swear. So, Ultimate Dream Team. So, last place we have Molly. 14th, Austin. 13th, Rachel. 12th, Thud. 11th, SP. 10th, Jaff, moving down 4 places in that last tourney. Boom, moving up 2 places, going into 9th in the top 10. Well done, mate. You got your win. Ash ended in 8th on 65. Joint points with Nathan in 7th. Wow, moving up 2 places in that tourney. Star Roy is going down to 6th. Roy, you're doing so well. Nippleback moving up 3 spaces, ended in 5th. Benny P and the Karaoke Kings in 4th. Mega Drive, Jimmy with that Duck Hunt Crystal League win has moved up to 3rd. And then sadly Jamie lost 1st place to Rosie in that last ditch Crystal League win for Dark Samus, which has put Rosie 1 point above Jamie. Now, and breathe. So technically Rosie have won, but not just yet, because we're going to cover what can happen in the Crystal League and see if it affects. It may not even affect, who knows. So, let's have a look at who is in the finale. And we're going to do that by looking at this. So, on the left, we have the automatic qualifications, in which we have all of the Alpha League winners, which is Byleth, Mario, Sonic, Little Mac, Ganondorf, King Dedede, Marth, and another shot for Byleth as well. Now, I should mention, if Byleth faces Byleth, because it's obviously randomised once, so I press random and that's it. If Byleth faces Byleth, that's not a Crystal League win. No way. Not if you fight yourself. You don't get anything for that. If you get through, that should be enough. And then, before the Grand Championship, there will be the qualification tourney, which is the 16 fighters on the right, which is the 2nd place fighters from the Alpha League. Link, King Dedede with a chance of another spot, Kirby, Pokemon Trainer, Villager, Shulk, Sephiroth, and Ganondorf with, again, another spot. And then the winners of the Beta League, so King K. Rool, Rob, Piranha Plant, Richter, Pyramithra, Isabelle, Wolf, and Banjo and Kazooie. So a good spread of fighters there. Gorilla Limon with 1 fighter that was from the first tourney. Energy Source in the last two tourneys-ish. Last end of the league with 2 fighters. Shroom Dogs with a potential of 2. Fuels with potential 3. Red Robots, the best team of the series, with the potential 5. Vipers with the potential of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as well. Even the dudes in there. 1, 2, 3. And the Gumtech with 3. There's such a good spread, so everyone had some good fighters. But obviously there will only be 8 fighters going through from that runner-up versus Beta League trophy in the qualifications. And those 8 will then face the 8 on the left. So what could happen in the Crystal League? I've done some maths. The Amethyst League, no one's in the Amethyst League. The Citron League is dead, because that's just gone to scrap, hasn't it? That's just restarted. So King Dedede and Link could face each other, but that don't make any difference. Emerald League is dead, only has Pokemon Trainer. The Obsidian League, Kirby has 2, and could face Rob, Piranha Plant, and then face Mario in the Grand Championship itself, as Kirby is only in the qualification round. So Kirby could win the Obsidian League. Very, very unlikely. But let me get a pen. Let me put a spot next to Kirby, just in case, as Kirby's a potential. The Opal League. Now Ganondorf, Marth, and Pyra, and Banjo are all in the Opal League, but none of them have a win except for Banjo, who has 3 to his name. So if he faces Ganondorf, Pyra, Marth, or Ganondorf, Banjo could win +5. Just needs to win twice, so I'm going to put a star next to Banjo's name. In the Ruby League, we only have Byleth and King K, so Byleth's on 2, King K's on none, so it would take a bit of a miracle. Well, no miracle, can't be done. That's a write-off. The Topaz League, I've missed one on purpose, which I'll go to. The Topaz League, Richter and Isabelle, that's it. So that's also a write-off. It would put Richter on 4, which would be crazy for next series, but that's next series' problem. Now we have the Sapphire League. So Sonic is obviously on 4, so Sonic is a favourite to win there, and there's a lot of people in the Sapphire League. We've got Little Mac, we've got Villager, Shulk, Sephiroth and Wolf. Now, obviously some of them are in the qualifications and we'll need to get through. So at the moment Sonic would only have a chance against Little Mac, but if Villager, Shulk, Sephiroth or Wolf qualify, which is highly likely one of them will, right? That's what made me fail sociology at school. If one of them gets through, then Sonic has a huge chance of winning. So Sonic is a definite favourite. Sephiroth has 2 to his name and is a great fighter. So I would say Sephiroth as well. Which means the fighters to look out for the Crystal League are Sephiroth, Sonic, Kirby and Banjo. So let's have a look at when life gives you lemons and who you have. You have Sephiroth, but so does Rosie. So this could be deciding factors here. Who was the other one? There is no other one. For you, Kirby. No sign of Kirby. Chode, you do have Kirby though. You could get +5, which would put you in 74, put you in 3rd. No Sonic. So officially, as I've worked out the math, sorry to announce it a bit earlier on, but Rosie and King K. Rool Rules is officially the winner of the Ultimate Dream Team. So well done to Rosie. I don't think you saw that coming. You may have switched off a few tournaments ago, but Jamie will be watching for sure, and he will let you know. Or if you're watching, hi, and thank you for enjoying the ride and coming first, which means that you will get a trophy with your best fighter on, which could be Sephiroth, if he exists, but I'm sure that you would appreciate if King K. Rool was on that trophy. So we'll get that to you ASAP, Rosie, but congratulations again. Other people to look out for are Banjo, Sephiroth. No, Jimmy's got Sephiroth. Oh, unless Jimmy's got Sonic. Don't think he has. No, he hasn't got Sonic. So, but Kirby, Chode, you're the only person to have Kirby. Banjo is only in 2 teams, so where are you? It must be in that tier there. So that would be Ash and Makawewe, both with Banjo. You could get +5, maybe. Sonic is in the hands of not enough people, guys. It'd be Ash, another potential for you, my friend. Yeah, she got there, Ash. I haven't gone through Sephiroth yet, but Ash, you have Sonic and Banjo, so look out for those in the Grand Championship. Could get you +5, could move you up the ranks, so you could end a bit higher. And Sephiroth fans, so our top 3 teams: King K. Rool Rules, When Life Gives You Lemons, and Mega Drive. Boom Makalaka. Mac means you've got 2. You've got Sephiroth and Banjo to look out for. And that's it for Sephiroth. So, okay, it was a bit messy in the end there, guys, because I was trying to obviously figure out stuff as we go. But the main thing is we have an Ultimate Dream Team winner. We have our top team with the red robots. We probably have our MVP with Sephiroth. We have our MVP of the series, which is Byleth. And we have our warrior, so our most improved fighter with King K. Rool. So, all in all, a lot's happened today. A lot's been covered. I'm sorry about the length of the video, but it was always going to be this way. So now that's over. Phase 3 is done. Thank you, everyone, for watching all these videos. I've varied on views. I've gone from like 8 views to 70 at one point. So it's crazy. I've really enjoyed it. I hope you guys look forward to, obviously, taking part in Ultimate Dream Team again next series. Don't forget, it's not over yet because we do have Phase 4, the Grand Championship. Little Mac was the winner of the last Grand Championship and could potentially, obviously, win this time as well to hold his title. And whoever wins Grand Championship, if they're on the same points as someone else, they will go above them because they will be the top. So if everyone's on 5 and Little Mac wins and he's on 5, say, then he will be above everyone else. So it is bragging rights if you do win this. For the likes of Wolf, I still don't think Wolf will be able to be saved, but it's worth tuning into, guys. Always interesting. So obviously next week will be the Grand Championship qualifier, building up into the Grand Championship itself. So that's two more tournaments of 16, and then we can say sayonara to Series 2. But for now, guys, thanks again for sticking around for Phase 3. See you guys in Phase 4, which will be next week. And yeah, let's conclude Series 3 in style.